You know that moment when everything's heating up, clothes are coming off, kissing is getting deeper, and then suddenly things just stop working. Your partner loses their erection. You freeze, they freeze, and now you're both lying there wondering what the hell just happened. This is one of the most common moments that couples experience, but also one of the most uncomfortable. And the truth is, how you handle that moment, what you say, and what you don't say can completely change the future of your sex life, which is why today I'm going to let you know exactly how to handle it. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Dr. Holly, sex and relationship therapist, and today we're talking about exactly what to do if your partner loses their erection during sex. We'll talk about why it happens, what not to say, and how to handle it without killing the mood, and how to rebuild intimacy and confidence after it happens. And toward the end of the video, I'll also share what most people completely misunderstand about erections and what actually helps to bring them back. Let's get into it. First things first, for the women out there, it is not about you. Losing an erection is not a sign of loss of attraction or lack of desire. I can't tell you how many clients, especially women, come into my office saying, he lost his erection, so I thought he wasn't into me anymore. And I'll be honest, I get it. As a woman, I've had those same thoughts before, and that little inner voice that whispers, is something wrong with me, or is my partner not attracted to me anymore? It's such a human reaction. Our brains instantly make it about us when in reality it almost never is. That spiral of fear and self consciousness creates a feedback loop, and anxiety kills arousal. And the more you try to fix it, the worse it gets. So let's break down exactly what's happening here. An erection isn't just about desire, it's a full body event. It involves your brain, hormones, nerves, emotions, and blood flow all working in sync. When any one of those systems gets disrupted by stress, exhaustion, alcohol, medication, or even just the pressure to perform, it can stop an erection cold. And this is so common. Studies show that around 50% of men experience some form of erectile difficulty at some point in their lives. 50%. That's half of all men across all ages. So if this happens to you or your partner, you are definitely not alone. And it doesn't mean that something is wrong with you. It just means that your body and brain aren't on the same page right now. Let's talk about what to do in the moment. Number one, don't panic. That momentary loss of erection often triggers shame, especially for men who are taught from a young age that their erection is proof of masculinity, power, and desirability. So, if you're the partner, your energy in that moment really matters. Here's what not to do. Don't blurt out what's wrong. Don't laugh nervously or apologize like you caused it. And definitely don't try to fix it immediately by saying something like, it's okay, it happens to everyone. Even though you mean well, those comments draw attention to it, and that's the last thing either of you needs. Instead, take a breath, relax, maybe say something as simple as, hey, no worries, let's just slow down. That sentence, let's slow down, signals safety. It gives your nervous systems both permission to calm down because erections are like cats. If you chase them, they run, but if you relax, they get comfortable and they might just come right back. Number two, shift the focus from performance to pleasure. We've been conditioned to treat sex like a performance with penetration and orgasm as the goal. But if we make that the definition of successful sex, then losing an erection feels like a failure. So instead of seeing this as the end of the encounter, think of it as a pivot. What if this is just a chance to slow down, connect differently, and explore what feels good without penetration? You can kiss, touch, grind, laugh, talk, whatever helps you to stay connected. One of my clients, for example, told me that he lost his erection during sex with his wife for the first time in years. They both froze. But instead of pretending it didn't happen, she kissed him on the chest and said, I'm still into this, and started exploring his body again without expecting penetration. Within minutes, his erection came back. Not because he was trying to get hard, but because the pressure was gone. That's the power of safety and presence. In fact, research studied in the Journal of Sexual Medicine found that when people shift their focus from performance to pleasure, erectile function often improves naturally because stress decreases and attention returns to the body. Number three, don't talk about it during sex, talk about it later. The middle of intimacy is not the time to troubleshoot. When you're both still in that vulnerable space, trying to analyze what happened, it can make it worse. Instead, give it space. Enjoy closeness or move on to something else. Then later, when you're both calm, you can gently check in. You might say something like, "Hey, I just wanted to check in with you about what happened last night. I want you to know that I'm not upset or worried, but how are you feeling about it?" This kind of curiosity keeps communication open without adding pressure or shame to that partner. If you're the one who lost the erection, you might say something like, "I got in my head for a second, but I really enjoyed being with you." That simple acknowledgement can turn an awkward moment into a bonding one. Number four, understand what's actually happening in the body. When you or your partner lose an erection, it's usually because your fight or flight system has taken over. Here's what that means. Your arousal system runs on the parasympathetic nervous system. That's your rest and relax mode. But when anxiety hits, when you start worrying about staying hard or satisfying your partner, or what it means if you can't, that triggers your sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight mode. And the problem is, those two systems can't run at the same time. You can't be relaxed and anxious simultaneously. So, the more that you try to force arousal through anxiety, the less likely your body is going to respond. That's why sometimes taking a break, laughing together, or even cuddling for a few minutes can help reset your body back into that calm, connected state. This isn't about trying harder, it's about trying softer. Number five, check what might be getting in the way. Occasional erection loss is normal, but if it starts happening often, it's worth looking at what's underneath, physically or emotionally. Ask yourself, am I stressed or exhausted lately? Have I been drinking more than usual? Did I start a new medication? Am I feeling disconnected from my partner? All of these things can contribute. Research from the International Journal of Impotence Research found that the most common risk factors for erectile difficulties include stress, poor sleep, depression, and relationship tension. And here's something important. Erectile issues can sometimes be an early warning sign of heart disease because both rely on healthy blood flow. So, if this is happening often, checking in with your doctor or urologist is not just about sex, it's about your overall health, and that might be the best thing for you to do. Number six, rebuild confidence together. One of the best things you can do as a couple is to intentionally create positive, pressure free experiences. That might mean setting a time for sensual touch without penetration or trying what's known as sensate focus exercises, a series of touch exercises developed by Masters and Johnson to rebuild trust and connection without the pressure to perform. You can start with non sexual touch like back rubs or massages, just focusing on sensation. Then slowly reintroduce more erotic touch over time. This method is backed by decades of research for helping couples overcome performance anxiety and reestablish intimacy. You can even make it playful. Take turns being the giver and the receiver, and use a timer if that helps. The goal isn't arousal, it's curiosity. And what often happens is that once the pressure to get hard disappears, erections naturally return. Number seven, create emotional safety. This one might sound less sexy, but it's actually the foundation for everything. Erections thrive in safety, not fear. And if there's tension in your relationship, like there's unresolved resentment or fear of rejection, your body will pick up on that. So, creating emotional safety means showing your partner that they are desired beyond their performance and beyond their penis. This might look like saying, "I love being close to you no matter what happens," or simply staying affectionate after sex, even when it didn't end the way that you expected. Because the moment you prove that connection isn't conditional, you take away the fear that causes the problem in the first place. Here's a quick story. A couple I worked with, let's call them Alex and Jordan, had been together for about 5 years. Alex started losing his erection halfway through sex and began avoiding intimacy altogether because he didn't want to disappoint his partner again. Jordan, meanwhile, felt rejected and unattractive. When they came to therapy, we worked on two things: separating erection from worth and reconnecting through non sexual intimacy. After just a few weeks of low pressure connection, cuddling, massages, and emotional check ins, Alex's anxiety started to fade. By removing the performance pressure, his body relaxed and his erections came back. But the bigger win was that they learned to talk openly about sex without shame, and that's the key takeaway here. What heals this isn't a pill, it's safety, communication, and understanding how the body and mind work together. So let's recap. If your partner loses their erection during sex, don't panic or take it personally. Shift focus from performance to pleasure. Don't overtalk it in the moment, check in later. Understand that anxiety, not attraction, is usually the cause. Look at bigger factors like stress, health, and relationship dynamics. Rebuild confidence and safety through low pressure connection. And remember, this isn't about getting back to how things used to be, it's about creating something even more connected than before. Because when you take performance out of the equation, what's left is presence, and that's where real intimacy begins. That's it for today. If this video helped you better understand what's really happening when erections falter and how to navigate those moments with confidence and compassion, make sure to hit subscribe for more evidence based conversations about sex, intimacy, relationships, and mental health. And if you've ever experienced this with a partner, I'd love to hear from you. How did you handle it? What worked for you, or what do you wish had been done differently? Let's talk in the comments below. Until next time, remember you deserve a healthy, happy, and pleasurable life.